Well, hi everybody, welcome to Wake Up Missoula. Sorry, that was just the tone that the music brought to me. But yeah.
We have our generic music because Asaph has decided to take the morning off.
He's not here.
Which is fine.
He's usually in our corner over there playing
Asaph does whatever he wants.
He does. He lives by his own rules.
Asaph literally plays by his own rules.
Yes, he plays by his own rules. And
Okay,
he's probably trying to sell his book and stuff, you know?
Yeah, or maybe he's sleepy.
Yeah.
It's a sleepy morning. Yeah. But hello, welcome to Wake Up Missoula. My name is Noelle Talks.
And I'm Scott Ramp.
And we have two guests today. We've got Lauren and Sandy here from they're bike ambassadors.
From the Missoula Motion?
I think so.
I believe so.
Yeah.
And they're here to talk about Bike Walk Bus Week, or as I like to call it, BW squared. Just got all nerdy in here. And also, so that's happening tomorrow. It starts tomorrow and it happens for a whole week.
It starts the 18th, which is today.
No, well,
I'm
pretty sure it starts on the 19th.
They'll tell us. They're going to tell us.
I just want to get all my driving out of the way and then be part of Bike Walk Bus Week.
Yeah.
And they are bike ambassadors, so the first word that comes first is bike because it's more important. And then if you don't have a bike, walk. And if you need to drive, just take a bus.
Take the bus.
I think they should mention
They'll
this.
Tell us.
They can talk more about this because it seems like we're interviewing them without them.
Yeah.
So. But you can find out more information about Wake Up Missoula by logging on to wakeupmissoula.wix.com/wakeupmissoula. So nice we made you spelled out twice. You could follow us on our Facebook page. You can totally follow us on Twitter. And if you're tired of following us, you can follow Missoula Community Access at MCAT TV Missoula.
Yep, you can also like Missoula Community Access Television on Facebook. And if you want to find out more information about us, just go to MCAT.org.
And of course, as you can see, that we are going to be filming
the homecoming parade.
I don't know, like it's not really filming, it's like videoing.
We're filming, and then Joel and I are going to be out there chatting.
Yes.
Maybe interview some
like the
people.
intro, maybe a couple times when it gets a little low and there's a couple floats and
dull.
Maybe Mike Fellows and his libertarian mobile is like a mile away from the other floats or whatever,
and
he's
fun.
like, well. And then you guys could get up there and talk and vamp.
Maybe Tracy Prey will come back and
Tracy Prey.
talk about some stuff.
That was fun.
I've been rolling him burritos lately.
Yeah, but that was interesting because Tracy Prey was...
He was like, I hate these floats, they're terrible. I was like, oh, please, sir, tell me more. Lots of time.
And I was just like, I was looking at you, I was just like, how can I signal her to wrap this up?
Yeah.
I think I did cut you off a little bit after a while.
I'm sure you did, Scott, yeah. That sounds like something you would do.
It's something I always do.
I know.
I always do.
I know.
You know.
Okay, well.
But we do have a lot of videos we have to show, so I do have some city council to talk about.
Yep.
And of course, if you've read in the news already, they're talking a little bit more about being sustainable and being a zero-emission city in Missoula. And
Nice.
It's a big deal. They want to be zero emission by 2025, and I'll have a little more about that with my city council report later today in the show. But of course, we do have some highlights of the Fringe Festival, and I want to show some highlights, and when we come back, we'll have our bike ambassadors talking about BW squared.
Okay, so I have to tell you about this one time that we totally went to rave in the mountains and went to little hot springs and we went to the ATM and then we took out a bunch of money and bought a bunch of drugs for all of her friends and then she totally tried to buy them and stuff, but it was really sad because at the end of the night all of her friends left her, but then it was really sad because it was buying her friends drugs totally didn't pay off. On her way to the car, Bee saw patterns on the floor, and in those patterns there were snakes all over the ground. Hi, my name is Bee, and I'm a grateful believer in Jesus Christ.
Hi, I'm Avery, she said, and her 3 front teeth fell out. She took the teeth out of her mouth and held them out to me. They're fake. The real ones got knocked out in a car crash. My older brother Ted died. Can I pat him? Sure. Go ahead. She ran her hand down Adam's neck. I've always wanted a little white pony. He's a medium gray pony. Let me show you something.
Hey, we're here with some bike ambassadors. I was like, oh, you like want me to do something? I was just like, take it away, Noelle.
Okay. Hello, you guys. Good morning.
Good
So
morning.
we've got Sandy and Lauren here. They are bike ambassadors from where? Missoula Motion?
Yeah,
Missoula
the
downtown?
bike ped office.
Okay, perfect. Great. So tomorrow it starts off Bike Walk Bus Week.
Yes.
So tell us exactly when that started.
Bike Walk Bus Week has been going on in Missoula for 24 years now. So this is something the city is really passionate about, is getting people active and using sustainable transportation.
Awesome. And so what exactly does Bike Walk Bus Week entail?
All kinds of stuff. So yeah, there's a bunch of different activities. There's a bunch of planned bike rides happening. There's some 5Ks. And really, it's a way for businesses to provide incentives for people to use sustainable transportation to get to their stores. So a lot of places are offering like 20% off your entire purchase if you bike, walk, or bus there, or you can get like a free pint glass with your beer or something like that. So there's a lot of places giving free coffee and donuts and things like that. So yeah, any business that is participating has one of these signs in their window, and it'll say under today's daily deal what sort of incentive they're offering.
That's awesome.
So that's something you can look for in the storefront windows.
Is this something new that you guys just started?
Yeah, the signs are.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It's like, check out our deals, sponsored by. Hey, like, it'd be cool, like BW squared. That's what I think of this. It's like you get like BW, and then you have bike, bus, and then walk, and then week.
You
know,
guys
just
should
kinda-
hire him for your
Yeah, I was
graphic
gonna
design.
say, like, that could be our campaign for next year.
Yeah.
BW squared. I'm part of BW squared now.
Oh man.
What's BW squared? I'm glad you asked me that.
So some of the events that we have that Missoula in Motion is hosting is Breakfast on the Bridges. So they're going to be on a different bridge every weekday next week, and they're going to be giving free coffee and bagels or treats to anyone who's commuting across the pedestrian bridges.
Nice.
So that's something to look forward to.
That's perfect. Do you guys know exactly like what day for bridge?
Yeah, it's all posted up on the Missoula in Motion website.
Yeah.
As well as their Facebook page. And if you are around town and happen to see one of these pamphlets, all the information is in here as well. What bridge it's on, where that location, like the Orange Street bridge, is actually going to be down on the bike trail. So it tells you where on the bike trail it's going to be.
And the website's
time.
missoulainmotion.com/bikewalkbusweek.
Perfect.
And yeah, if you want to get one of these booklets, today is actually National Parking Day, where you turn a parking space into a public park.
Oh,
for
I've
a
seen
day.
those. Those are really cool.
Yeah, so this is the last one Missoula in Motion's doing for the season. It's going to be right in front of the Florence. So if you want to pick up one of those booklets today, we'll be there from 10 to 6.
Awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
Great.
Nice.
That's awesome.
And what other, like, you guys are starting off Bike Walk Bus Week, but what are you guys doing to wrap up BW squared? Patent pending.
Yeah.
One of the final events is going to be the homecoming parade. Free Cycles is going to have a float in that, so look for some crazy bicycles.
Yeah, anyone who wants to be in the homecoming parade is invited to join the Free Cycles float.
Bring your bike and your crazy bike-inspired outfit.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Cool. And where can people find more information?
MissoulaInMotion.com/bikewalkbusweek.
Perfect. And you guys have a Facebook page too, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
there's also a Facebook event. Bike Walk Bus Week is an event,
Yes.
and there will be things posted throughout the week about what's happening that day. And there's an interactive map as well, so you should check that out. It's posted on the Missoula in Motion Facebook page, and I think the website as well. And you can go in and click on the different symbols at different locations. It'll give you a summary of what's happening there.
Yeah,
Sweet.
and the booklet has a QC code you can just scan with your smartphone if you get one of those.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool. Well, thanks, you guys.
Yeah, thank
Is
you.
there anything else that you want to tell us before we let you go?
Come out for the 15th annual Pedal versus Metal.
Oh, tell us about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, expand on that.
So Pedal versus Metal is a race basically between motorists and bicyclists. The mayor and a member of city council are going to be doing it on the car team, as well as the Subaru dealership are bringing a car along. The bicyclists will be members from local community bike shops. And they basically are all given a list of 6 errands that they have to run around town. It starts at the Mountain Line Transfer Center. and they have to disperse and run around town, go into all these locations and get someone to sign off to say that they were there, and then meet back. So far, every year the bicyclists have won. So hopefully, I didn't make it too hard this year.
Sandy
Hopefully.
made the course this year, so hopefully she didn't mess it all up. And
They have to follow all the rules of the road. So
Both cars
no
and
cutting
bicycle,
corners or illegal parking. Or
you have to drive your car to each errand. You can't just park it and run.
Some good cyclists in Missoula there.
Yeah,
That's so
definitely.
awesome. Awesome. Well, can you guys just highlight a few more events then? Because it sounds like that we've got a lot of events going on that we...
Yeah, on this Sunday is going to be Bigs and Littles on the Trails ride. So anyone who is a parent that is interested of learning more about how to transport their kids via bike, there's going to be all kinds of different types of bikes and bike accessories there for you to check out. There's going to be trailers, bike seats, the big cargo bikes with the wooden boxes and things like that. So you can go check out all that stuff. Free cycles will be there. And then they'll have a short ride over to the M and climb it if you want.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Nice. Great. And then so people can find out just more information about that on your website.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. Wow.
Just get online.
Yeah. Just get online. It's all online, you guys.
Yeah. MissoulaInMotion.com/bikewalkbusweek.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, ladies.
Yeah, thank you.
Be right back after this.
I don't want to approach it from the perspective of feeling like I'm blackmailing the community. So take this with a grain of salt. But what's happened in the last few years, we as a district have run building reserve requests. And we have used that money for short-term fixes. And in my own mind, that's not the best use of resources. So the boiler example at Hellgate, we invested about $25,000 in a patch essentially this summer. We hope it's certified. We hope that it'll get us through at least one more winter. That's the kind of thing we've been doing. And that, I think, in the long run, is not cost effective. So if it were not to be successful, we would have to regroup and decide what our next approach would be. But I would hope that we would not be looking at temporary fixes.
Vote early, vote often.
Yeah. I'll say one other thing about Hellgate, and I'm a Hellgate alum, so I confess. But in addition to just the boilers, Hellgate is heated with steam. And that's true with many of our buildings. It's a very inefficient heat system. So part of this would not only be the boilers, but heat distribution systems. We believe there's a lot of potential for energy savings in the long run by upgrading and updating.
Hey, we are back.
All right, in darkness.
Yeah, we
We're
were-
back
we were
in
black.
We're like AC/DC,
Except better.
except better.
Yes.
Okay, whatever.
And cleaner. Maybe a little, definitely a little cleaner. I would say we're definitely cleaner.
Definitely cleaner. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah, it's tab.
Oh, you deleted some of my stuff.
I did not.
You definitely did. Scott deleted some of my things. Okay, well, that's
It was
fine.
just MCAT things that I brought it up on the Chrome.
I know I had something else up.
Really?
All right, so I've got some events. You guys, there's so much happening this weekend. It's ridiculous.
Yes.
So most of the things are happening on Saturday and Sunday, but I've got a few things happening for today. So starting at 9 a.m. is the Equus International Film Festival. This is a premier venue for award-winning equine films, television and all media focused on the equine-human bond. And if you guys don't know what that is, because I didn't know what that term was, it has to do with horses. So equine means like having to do with horses and everything having to do with horses. Yeah, pretty much. So this is just movies about horses, which sounds great because those are awesome. And so it's going to be at the Native American Center and the University Center. Yeah, in Missoula. The UC Center. So also, Has Waste Days is coming up. This starts today at 9 a.m. So you can bring all of your household toxins, such as pesticides, oil, antifreeze, oil-based paints, thinners, fuel, mercury, etc., for safe disposal.
I'm going to do a counter event called Haze Waste Days. Where people just get
Just get hazed.
hey, it's all haze. Because if you remember what you did that weekend, you weren't really there. But of course, that's been said so many times.
Yeah, especially Missoula.
Just like a lot of these events. Ms. Mo Gymnastics, better gymnastics.
Yeah.
Drop-ins.
Drop in.
And the library has A lot of great events, but of course, why are you hearing it from me?
The
you
library.
Should hear it from the event lady.
The
Noelle
library
McAvoy.
always has stuff going on. The library has a lot of really great events all the time. Library is a great resource for Missoula. Yeah. All right, so back to Haz Waste Days. So yeah, so if you've got some hazardous materials, you can bring them to the shop. I don't really know. So let's see. You can visit their website, or you can call 258-4890 to find out more information. But even if you typed in like Haz Waste Days online, I bet you would find where you can drop them off. Yeah, so that starts this morning, and it goes this weekend, today and tomorrow. And then
Wait, this morning?
This morning, Scott.
Really?
Yeah.
That's insane. Noelle.
I know. Have you been? Oh no, we were here. We were
yes,
working.
we are here. This is the nice thing about having our own cameras now. Is
I know,
that
we
can just throw it. This just in. I'm throwing it back to Noelle.
Hey guys, what's up? How's it going? All right, this just in. Now it's Scott's turn.
Hey guys. I'm just doing that head thing. It was like throwing it to you.
We're never gonna have time for city council at this rate.
Yeah. But this is my city council camera right now.
This is my events camera. Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm done. I just had to do something.
It was really fun. Yeah. I
Now
agree.
back to you.
Okay, it's great. Thanks, Scott. Okay, everyone, back to me.
Now again, back to you.
Stop. It's a Friday. Scott and I. Oh, there's Scott. Where's our camera? It's a Friday, and Scott and I are very happy.
And that's why I'm technical director at MCAT.
Yeah. That's why you're technical, because it's a Friday?
Because
That's
it's a
why
Friday.
You're technical director. Stop. But we both expressed how happy we were that it's a Friday, so it's obviously coming out in our show.
I'm so glad it's Friday.
Our excitement.
There's so much stuff going on.
Lots of things happening.
And I'll let Noelle explain it because we're not even at 12 p.m. No, at noon. We're not even talking about noon today yet.
I know.
So we have
Okay,
to,
back to events.
There's a lot going on Saturday, just saying.
Okay, so Yarns is at the Missoula Public Library starting at noon. This is where you can bring your crochet project or your knitting project and gossip and eat some lunch. Yeah. And then there's Teen Writers Group is at 3:30 at the public library. So if you need some inspiration or some feedback, you can go there, and the young adult librarian will help you. That starts, 3:30 to 5:30. And then Shine is one of the, it's like an electronic festival. So they say it's a dance and art festival, but it's more just like terrible electronic music. But either way, it's going to be at Lolo Hot Springs starting at 4:30 this weekend. So if you want to stay up there all weekend, you can definitely do that.
Yeah, and it's one of the last ones they're going to be doing.
Really?
Well, I mean, up there because it's mostly like a summer festivals, and then
It's true.
As the weather gets
cold.
much colder,
Mm-hmm.
you can't dance enough to stave off hypothermia.
No, you really can't, Scott. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As a doctor, dancing does not keep you cool
No, or warm.
or warm.
It's just
It's just the way the
just
cookie crumbles.
It's just the way the boogie crumbles.
The cookie crumbles.
The boogie boogies.
The boogie crumbles.
No, the
The
cookie.
boogie bundles.
The boogie bundles.
Yeah, boogie bundles.
Great. Yeah.
It's both with bees, and apparently it's a poetry. Art. Yes. But enough with me.
Okay.
We're
Back with me.
We're still at 6 p.m.
I know, gosh. Okay, so over at the Thomas Mar Bar, they're having a first annual Missoula Boaters Bash. And so you can go and have fun recreating the time you had in your favorite rivers through sharing your stories. So you can share your stories of fishing, rafting, and swimming during the summer on the rivers with other people that like doing that. That sounds fun. And then, so over at the Top Hat, there's Family Friendly Friday, and it's Support Our Schools fundraiser with the Salamanders. So they are talking about the Smart Schools 2020 and that huge bond that they want to pass, and they're doing a lot of fundraising for it and a lot of awareness events for it. So this is one of them. So the Superintendent of Public Instruction, Denise Juneau, will be there, as well as our mayor, and they will have a pie and cake auction, raffle prizes, and the Salamanders' newly released CD. Yeah. And then over at the Union Club is traditional Irish music at 6 p.m. And then it's cheap date night at the Missoula Public Library at 7. And then for more music events for this evening is POD will be at stage 112 at 8.
The POD?
POD, I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's the POD.
No.
Wow.
P. Dot. O period dot D dot period.
Yeah, the POD. Okay, so, and then also, there is a Blanket Fort comedy tour, so there's some comedy at the press box
Nice.
at 8, yeah. And then Life in Color pre-party with Focus Fire will be at Monks at 9. Life in Color happens tomorrow, which I'll be telling you guys about in a few minutes. And then Cash for Junkers is at the Union. Dakota Poorman Band is at the Sunrise Saloon at 9. And Rising Appalachia is at the Top Hat Lounge at 9:30. Yeah. So that's what's going on for Saturday events. No, that's what's happening today. I'm sorry.
Yes.
And since Asaph isn't here, we're just going to play an art video. So this is an art clip by Rick. Thanks, Rick.
Yep, and that is photos from small schools
Yeah.
in Montana. Just
That was
like
really
they took some
cool.
photos. They got a grant for this, and they went out and shot some photos of school kids going to school. Basically, kids who live on farms in eastern Montana who have to commute like 50 to 100 miles to go to school.
Yeah.
Or
Go to school with like 3 other kids.
but the nice thing about technology is is that it allows you to use Skype. You can Skype your way into classrooms and stuff like that, and yeah, that's what they do a lot of times.
That's a good idea, yeah. Yeah. Don't make fun of her, she's just on Skype. This is a new girl, she's from Skype.
Yeah, but they have those little rover things you can control. Like, you know, it's like it's an iPad on there, and then they have wheels on the bottom. It's like a stick, and they can
Pretty
move
sure
around.
that was only on South Park, Scott.
No, it's true. It's a real thing. You can buy it, and that's what I suggested that Joel buy so we can keep Josh Minnie here.
Yeah. Okay. So here is things going on tomorrow. So you guys, there's so much happening. So this is everything that's going on Saturday. So we've got our farmers market at the Red X's from 8 to 1, People's Market on Pine Street in Higgins from 9 to 2, and then the Clark Fork Market down at Caris Park from 8 to 1. All of our markets end October 31st, so we still have a full month.
Wow.
Yeah. And then Five Valleys Audubon, they are taking a field trip to Mission Valley. This is just a day trip. So you can meet them at the Adams Center parking lot on the northwest corner at 8 a.m. tomorrow. And they are going to, so they're going to travel to Nine Pipe National Wildlife Refuge and Kicking Horse Reservoir in the Mission Valley to observe migrating birds. Bring a lunch and it's all day trip. You can go to fvaudubon.org for more information. And then Spontaneous Construction is happening tomorrow.
Yay.
Starts at 9 a.m. down at Home Resource. Thank you to our guy that came on last week.
Jeremy?
Yeah, Jeremy.
Jeremy Drake.
Yes, Jeremy Drake. Thank you, Jeremy, for coming on last week talking about it. And if you guys want to find out more information about Spontaneous Construction, you can go to Home Resources website, or else you can go to our Wake Up Missoula page. I'll show you guys right here. Go to our Wake Up Missoula page, and go to our videos. And then you can check out our interviews, and it's right there, and he'll tell you all about it.
Yes,
Yeah.
we have all our interviews and content on our webpage, wakeupmissoula.wix.com/wakeupmissoula. But also, you could find it on our YouTube channel, Wake Up Missoula. So if you go to YouTube and type in Missoula, chances are you'll find Wake Up Missoula, because that's pretty much prevalent in YouTube.
Yeah.
It's Missoula. We just type in Missoula and it's like, oh, look at
It's
this.
us. I
It's
know.
all about us. And then there's a couple of those little like, oh, it's high definition touristy videos that they have. But other than that, it's mostly us.
Which I think is great.
Which is like over 300
Yeah.
plus videos
Episodes.
of us doing
This.
exactly this.
Except today's a little sillier than usual. It's Friday.
I'm going to put this as one of our favorite videos so
Faves.
far.
Faves.
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 Yes.
Okay. There is a clean energy fair down at Karis Park starting at 9 a.m. tomorrow. I know we're only at 9 a.m. on Saturday events. And so there'll be a all-day free workshops on topics including solar energy, solar water heating, wind turbines, electric vehicles, and more. There'll also be a car showing featuring electric, hybrid, and biofuel cars, as well as food, drinks, door prizes, and kids' activities, including model solar car races. Yeah. Oh, and then down at the Lucky Strike restaurant, they've got the Puzzle Club. Starts at 9 a.m. This is for the Brain Injury Support Group. And then down at the Montana Natural History Center, they're doing they're going to be talking about local geology, and it's going to be featuring Glacial Lake Missoula, so the old lake that was filled up Missoula. So they're going to be talking about the geologic foundation of our local landscape. They're going to lead a tour of 10 stops in the Missoula Valley and beyond, so they will be traveling. Advanced registration is required, so call 327-0405 to sign up. $80, $70 for members. It'll be from 9 to 5, so it'll be an all-day event tomorrow. So check that out if that interests you. Or if it doesn't, you could go clean up the Clark Fork River with the Exports for Vets. So Exports for Vets usually use the river as therapeutic trips. And so they are going to be cleaning up the river. They're going to be cleaning up between Van Buren Street and the Milwaukee Trail Boat Ramp.
Oh man, that trip is so therapeutic.
Yeah, that river is super therapeutic.
Oh man, that was a crazy trip. It was very therapeutic though.
Oh man. Okay, and then also Festival of the Cycles, as our bike ambassador girls were talking about. This is over at Free Cycles. They are going to be giving games, tune-up lessons, music, food safety courses, and more. Food safety courses and more, not food safety courses. But Free Cycles is giving food safety courses
Basically, they will teach you how to ride a bike
at the same time.
at the same time.
Yeah, safely.
Yeah, I mean, there was this one kid in my flagship class. Like, he wore a bicycle helmet everywhere he went.
Oh, little muffin.
But he was hilarious. He's the funniest kid. Remember that kid it was in the video, and he was doing the elbow thing the whole time? He's like, so you in Calypso?
Yeah.
And then his face, and he was like, huh?
I don't remember what video, but I kind of remember that.
Yeah. She's the only kid who did that in any of the videos. I have to keep doing that, like do the elbow thing. It's like, hey, 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 hey.
I love doing that.
Yeah, anyways.
Okay, so there is a carnival and fundraiser for the Missoula YMCA swim team. That's at the YMCA, 10 a.m. tomorrow, 10 a.m. to 2.
Wow.
So they've got, so it's silent auction, food and games, including a dunk tank, drawing for a sports weekend package. It's free admission. And then down at the Carousel, this is a fun event. The Carousel downtown is the 3rd annual Brains and Bronze. So this is a unique Missoula event that challenges a team's fitness and its smarts. So it's like a treasure hunt combined with a triathlon-style run, bike, and paddle. Yeah, so if you have a team of 3 to 5, and you'll have to solve 8 clues ranging all over downtown Missoula, and then you have to get there by a variety of meetings, and then you can discover the hidden treasure chest containing $1,000.
Well, it looks like those meatheads right next door to us are gonna have to start bench pressing an atlas if they're gonna learn some stuff.
Bench press a dictionary.
Like a full dictionary.
Like a full one.
Like for with big words for people who have bad eyesight.
Yeah.
So that's like really big dictionary.
Yeah.
I can bench a dictionary. What kind of dictionary? It's for people who are
With
nearsighted.
terrible
It's like,
eyesight.
oh wow, you must be really strong.
Whoa, please.
Or Noelle would say, oh, you must be really strong.
Oh wow, you're really strong. What's your credit score? That's my new one. What's your credit score?
Pretty good.
Okay, so over at the Fort Missoula, they're having apple days. So they are doing, it's free and open to the public from 11 to 3. That's apple pressing and cider tasting. And they're having fall-inspired crafts and tours of the hosted historical buildings. It's from 11 to 3 tomorrow. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Exciting.
I know. Well, it sounds like a lot of like family fun.
I haven't been to those apple days since I was 8 or 9.
Oh, I want to go.
I want to go. I want to
Let's go.
totally go.
I know.
But I'm going
really
to I really want to go to spontaneous construction
I know.
and the apple thing. But of course, farmers market. I love the farmers
Yeah.
market, and they have the roasted peppers.
Ooh.
They're selling roasted peppers. It's like 2 pounds of roasted peppers for $6, and I'm like, heck
Yes. 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 That
yeah. Yes.
sounds freaking-
Bad word. Yes.
Yeah, bad word, yes. Okay, so we've got over at Blackfoot Native Plants, they're doing an open house and sale. So if you have questions about how to plant native plants or what kind of native plants are good for your garden, Kathy of Blackfoot Native Plants will be giving tours and demonstrations of gardens at 1 and 3. The nursery staff will be on hand to help you with garden design and any other questions you may have. And then also, over at Ruby's Inn, this is organized by the Octopus, which if you guys know him or don't know him, but he's a great Missoula staple. So he's a chess champion. And so he's a very excellent chess player, and he is putting on the Northern Rockies chess champion at Ruby's Inn starting at noon tomorrow. Yeah, and so if you guys don't know, he can play 25 boards at once.
More.
Yeah. He's usually at first night, and where he'll set up 25 boards, and people just sit there, and he'll have a chance, and he'll walk around and move them.
I mean, it's not much of a trick. It's just you play all these different games, but then he thinks of a strategy. But the amazing thing about him is that he remembers what the board looks like from every game he's playing.
Yeah.
Just so you know, you can't cheat, because if you do cheat, he kicks you out. He just says go.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you guys want to check that out, do it. It sounds like it'll be really cool.
Yep.
And then over at the Kettle House Brewing Company, they're having a Missoula Brews Cruise. So this is kind of fun. It starts at noon tomorrow, and it is so it's for bicycle riders will tour Missoula's participating breweries, brew pubs, and bars on a poker run with the best male and female riders' hands winning a new cruiser bike. So this is also put on by the Missoula Bike Source. Or no, the new bike is by Missoula Bike Source. And so they will benefit Missoula in building and maintaining the area's excellent mountain biking trail systems. So tickets are $10 per rider. It includes a Montana Brewery passport, access to the poker run, and entry into various raffle giveaways, and a swag bag. Yeah, so that starts at noon tomorrow. Check that out if you want to. It sounds like that'll be a good time. And then they're having, I think it's going to end down at Great Burn Brewing Company, which don't drive, because I thought that was silly. I was like, Great Burn's across the street, across town. But yeah, either way, go have fun. Okay, and then over at Imagination Brewing Company, they're having their grand opening. And so it's Imagine Fest. That from 11 to 8, they have got, noon to 8, they've got a bunch of different music. Starting at 11, they have kids' activities. And they've got educational activities and kids' activities all throughout the day for both kids and parents. And so you can listen to music, you can drink some beer, you can hang out and just celebrate their grand opening.
Great.
Yeah. And then over at Peaceful Heart Yoga, they're having a yoga and mindfulness workshop. They are going to be talking about creating your own 30-day Sankalpa, which is a promise to the soul, an authentic, simple, doable practice of yoga, mind meditation, and or mindfulness woven into your daily life. That was really hard to get out.
I'll stick with drunk yoga.
Yeah. The downward dog will be the downward dog.
The downward dog would be the downward drunken dog. Corpse pose would remain corpse pose.
Yeah, I love that.
That was one of my favorite.
Corpse pose will remain corpse pose.
There's a lot of good ones. There's this really amazing one that this guy did about whiskey and pie, where the husband is making pie, and then the wife is just like, you're doing that wrong. And he's like, shut up. And there's a lot of swearing. I would have shown that, but there was a lot of swearing.
That's funny.
And it's the best story. I really just want to take you and show you after the show.
Yeah, we'll watch it after the show. You guys can't. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, if we did a show after 10:30, then we just kind of let our, I don't know, do whatever we want.
It's true. Maybe. Okay, so there's just some
To
stuff.
a degree.
Yeah, to a degree. Yeah. This is what's going on for like movie, music stuff going on tomorrow night. So Life in Color, which is the world's largest paint party, is going to be at Oregon Park at the Allegiance Field, the Osprey Field, starting at 5 p.m. I went 2 years ago, and it was a lot of fun. What it is they have a DJ, and then they throw paint color at you.
You have to wear white.
Yeah. So wear white. You get all colored in paint. It's pretty fun when you go with like a group of friends and you have a good time and you're like down to get paint thrown at you and like dance around. It's a good time. So check that out.
A lot of my friends who are going to Shine are also going to this, so they're going to have a full weekend.
Yeah, full weekend of crazy party.
And lots of Monster energy drink and.
Yeah. Pretty much. Well, Bob Mislevic is going to be at Draftworks Brewing Company tomorrow at 6 p.m. Check that out. And then over at the Roxy is a Moulin Rouge sing-along, which I just love Moulin Rouge, and that's going to be great. That starts at 7:30.
I like the Roxy. Like, it's really cool. It's just like, now they're promoting people to talk in a movie and being able to be a part of the movie. They have movie mockers, where they basically, it's like Mystery Science Theater, where they have people on mics while they're watching a terrible movie.
Really?
And they just like make fun of the movie. It's like totally like, some of it's improv, but I think a lot of it's scripted, so they have plenty of practice. So
That sounds
they
fun.
make sure it's funny rather than.
Yeah, just annoying. Oh, that would be fun.
Yeah.
That would be a really fun job. And then, so at Monks at 9 tomorrow is the official Life in Color after party. So it's $5, it is 18 and up if you want to go. It starts at 9. And then Stage 112 is having a movie night, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Nice.
It starts at 9. Shortly after Grizz game, it's a free admission.
And the Grizz
and
game
free
is
popcorn.
about 5, 6 o'clock on Saturday.
Something like that, yeah. Yeah, and then I've got stuff going on Sunday. I have Sunday events.
But of course,
So-
through the weekend, you guys are going to be tempted with the alcohol.
Yes, you
And
are.
I have a PSA
Ooh.
for you guys, to show you guys about what you can do if you are drunk and you need a ride home.
Yeah.
So take a look.
No matter what you're planning, if you plan to drink, plan to have a friend get you home. Get ride home ideas and tools at plantolive.mt.gov.
Right?
Hey.
Wasn't that nice?
Yes.
What a nice little thing. A nice little PSA. I love it.
That's my
It's
favorite
Scott's
PSA.
favorite.
It's
Yeah.
great. It's like, it's horse picking you up.
Yeah,
Yep.
I know. Nothing better. Thanks, horse friend.
But if you don't have a horse, call a cab.
If you don't have a horse.
But of course, there's friends
Yeah.
then your friends that you're hanging out with are usually the ones also drinking
Drunk.
with you as well.
Yeah. So you need to find sober friends. You
If
need
you
to
need
get
a-
some sober friends.
Get an Uber.
Get
a
an
cab,
Uber,
because
get a cab, get a horse, get a sober friend.
Because the $10 to $15 that you pay for a cab is not worth the DUI that you get in the long run.
Very true.
Because they take your license away, and that's 6 months without a car.
And your livelihood.
Yep.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's bike walk bus week, so you don't have to worry about driving.
No, you should
for the
bike
next week.
everywhere. Yes. Don't even get in your car.
Don't get in your car, but if you have to get
Don't
in a
even look
motorized
at it.
vehicle, take a bus or a carpool or just stay home in like a shut-in.
Yeah, just
Yep.
stay home. You know, you should just
You
stay
just
home.
say, I'm taking a week off. I'm doing this.
not gonna
Like,
drive.
it could be part of your holidays. Like, I'm taking this holiday because it's very important to me. It's Bike Walk Bus Week. I can't drive.
No.
Just so you know.
So
It's
I
like,
can't go
Oh, we
anywhere.
totally understand. Thank you for telling us
stay
this.
home.
They would never understand.
No, never.
No, they never.
Whatever. Californians.
You can tell Taco is like, I can't drive.
Half the people I work with don't drive anyway, so that wouldn't be a good excuse. They'd all be like, okay, well, none of us drove, so get to work.
It's like most of the excuses that they get are like, oh, I'm sick, I can't come into work, and they're sick from the night before.
No, it's not like that at Taco.
Really?
Yeah, unfortunately, at Taco del Sol, you cannot just be like, hey, I'm not coming in. You have to find someone to cover your shift.
Yeah.
You have to. Like, someone didn't show up for a shift last night. My manager had to call all the stores, try to call people to try to get them in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
If-
can't
if-
do that.
Yeah, it's a team.
It is a team. It's a team, and I love
Sometimes
it.
you just gotta roll and breathe.
Yes, I will be rolling burritos at Reserve today too.
Oh.
Anyone wants to grab some? Yeah.
Oh, the reserve one. Ooh.
Yeah, I gotta drive out there. Yep. Okay, so back to events, because our show is coming to an end. We did a lot of bantering today.
Yeah, but I have some city council to talk about too, so.
Okay, yes, I'll
We'll
hurry.
get through this.
Okay, so this is what's going on Sunday. Normally I don't do Sunday events, but there's just so much happening I wanted to tell you guys.
Yeah, and you have my approval.
Oh, yeah, and I had Scott's approval. Let's see, where's your... Scott, drink that melon. Oh, you can't. No commercial stuff.
Well, what do you mean?
Scott
We've
loves
been talking about
kombucha.
commercial stuff the whole show.
Well, I've been promoting the events,
Yes.
not the actual place.
We probably shouldn't have talked about Taco, your other job.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
Well,
anyways.
Okay, back to events. Okay, so there is a 35th annual train show and swap meet at Big Sky High School starting at 10. And it is from 10 to 4. So it'll be operating train layouts, model trains, railroad antiques, collectibles, memorabilia, books, and much more for sale or trade. And then the Missoula Maze is starting, so that's starting at noon. You can go early and check out the best pumpkin selection, avoid the crowds. And so it opens September 20th to November 1st, Sundays, Thursdays, and Fridays. And then over at the Slack Barn at Teller Wildlife Refuge, they're doing a walk for wildlife. And so it's a 2-mile or a 5K. 10 and under is free. 11 to 17 is $10. And then adults 18 and older is $20. And so check that out. That sounds like that'll be a lot of fun. It starts at 1:30 on Sunday. And then over at Montgomery Distillery is Art on Tap at Montgomery. You can check out, they are going to be painting some things while you drink fancy drinks. Oh, sounds great. And then Oktoberfest is at the Dram Shop. You can go, and they're going to be celebrating the change of seasons by introducing some of their fall beers. They're going to be have treats, and they're going to be having some food and German sausages and covered wagon and crazy stuff over there. Yeah. And then you can check out MissoulaEvents.net to find out the rest of Sunday's events, because that's what I've got for you. Yeah. So, oh, there's Scott.
Hi, how's it going? Now it's time for City Council.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got some interesting things to talk about with City Council, and I think the one that really stands out is the City of Missoula Solar Roadmap Study and Report will inventory the capacity and purpose of a plan to expand the use of clean, renewable energy to power municipal operations. The plan will inform the city of the most cost-effective path to a maximum solar distributed generation on and adjacent to city buildings, deploying solar energy generation along with their ongoing energy efficiency building improvements amplifies both investments and creating energy conservation. So I just think this is great. Cost savings, that's one of the things that gets anybody interested in anything is you get to save money. And also you get to save the environment or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I'm not that liberal. Anyways. But here's Chase Jones, and he is heading up the project, and here he is.
I am grateful to have a technical advisory team attached to these activities, and so I'll kind of lean on them to help me, and we've always had the intention of being opportunistic when something really solid that makes sense and can pay back and reduce our greenhouse gas emissions in accordance to that plan can occur. So as we know, Elon Musk can do pretty wonderful things pretty quickly, so we'll see how the Gigafactory works out.
All right, so they're going to figure, here's some little details about how much they would be saving, but budgeting will happen for this project in January, but they should expect this project to be about $40,000, which is well under the city's budget, which, of course, I read this in the Missoulian this morning. That's where I got that little tidbit of information. Each watt of power being generated would be about $2 to $3 per watt in savings, which is pretty good. What do you think, Noelle?
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. That sounds like it would save a lot of money for everyone. And going, being a town that has a bunch of solar panels, I feel like would be a good layout for other towns that maybe want to follow us.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, but that's about it, what's happening with our future plan. But right now we're having another job making plan that may not be good for the environment. So in a way, that I like to make balance. I like to be balanced. So solar energy is for clean, efficient energy, and then the other one is transporting coal trains through Missoula, Montana. And that was the next topic of the public safety and health. So let me read what they were talking about. Here's some background. In 2014, the City Council passed a resolution asking for Federal Service Transportation Board, STB, to consider downstream impacts of the proposed Tongue River Railroad in the environmental impact statement, the city also requested a public hearing on the matter to be held in Missoula. Missoula is a rail community that has been disappropriate. Oh man, that's a big word. Anyways, they've been impacted by the increased coal train traffic due to the proximity of the rail yard to the north side and west side neighborhoods, and the at-grade crossing limiting emergency access and egress from the rattlesnake area. So just like the through traffic, people driving across the train tracks and so on and so forth. The STB failed to hold a public hearing in Missoula. Oh. That's the general gist of it. And just a little more background. We have a fairly lot of clips to show, so I'm going to try to put these in order, but I'm just going to introduce them. This is Jordan Hess, and he's the one who's leading this topic.
The Surface Transportation Board to do a more thorough analysis of possible health and environmental impacts from the coal trains. And then we're also asking them, seeing as how this is our last chance to, our last time at bat on this issue. We don't get to comment on the final EIS. This is our last opportunity to comment. So the resolution urges the selection of the no action alternative because the draft EIS has many deficiencies, and the construction of the Tongue River Railroad would create a number of costs to the city of Missoula that are not that do not have public benefits outweighing them, and so impacts at rail crossings, impacts to residential areas near the refueling station or the railroad coupling yard are really tremendous impacts, and there are.
Okay, so our next quote is from our very own Alex Taft, and he basically talks about. Oh man, I forgot because he talks about the history. Okay, I keep on saying talks about, but. He mentions the history about the railroad in Missoula.
To get a sustainable transportation system is that rail traffic has increased markedly over the years. Stories about Chicago, which is the most busy interchange in the country. There are many neighborhoods that are affected by the increase. Just yesterday, I was going to the rattlesnake to pick up my vegetables, and waiting for a train, was about to go through the intersection when another train came by. That's the first time that's happened to me in 10 years in Missoula. So just that general increase in traffic is a very strong concern that needs to be addressed.
Yes. I mean, if you don't already know the background, of course, China wants to buy some coal as well. But of course, I'm going to address that a little bit later. This is Annalise Heindel, and she asked Jordan Hess some background questions about the railroad history, in which he answers that the railroad has been here much longer than the city of Missoula. Like, even back in the day, it was the railroad who basically called all the shots. And I'm going to reveal big information that's very interesting to me, but I'll do this after.
We built up all of these houses around these train tracks. I mean, are we the ones that keep building around train tracks, or is it the opposite?
Well, I suppose to interpret that very literally, yes. The train system was probably here in the 1880s and brought with it all of the wonders that we know it to have brought to the West, and has been an integral part of our community ever since.
Okay.
All right, so the next segment I have is, this is Alec Taft. He tries to answer Annalise's question a little more thoroughly, and this is what he had to say.
Workers, or rented by railroad workers. Many of the brick buildings downtown were railroad hotels or some other kind of hotel, which is made mention of in our cemetery. So if the implication is that people are causing their own problem. I would say that's probably not true. I'll leave it there.
And he's clarifying that as a result of, I mean, like, the train is the reason why Missoula exists, period. Like, that's the thing. And the big information that this new right-of-way is trying to say is that, of course, my question for you or anybody watching is because a train system was established long before Missoula was founded in the city, does that give a Montana Rail Link or the people who actually own the tracks themselves the right to make a route via the Tongue River and charge the city of Missoula for the costs?
Ooh.
So that's the idea, is that the railroad
question.
can charge the city. Basically, any construction or anything that's done in the rail link actually goes to the city. The charges go to the city, which doesn't make any sense because they have enough money for their rail link and using the trains and renting out their train tracks for Burlington, Northern Santa Fe to use their tracks to transport stuff. So that's the thing. Is like for the longest time, the railroad is the reason why Missoula exists, and since the beginning of time, since the beginning of railroads, the costs of the railroad would actually go to the cities because the cities would want the railroads in their cities because otherwise, if they didn't have a railroad, they wouldn't have a city. But that's been a tradition that's been going on for more than 150 years.
Yeah.
And right now, there's an opportunity to kind of like work on alternative routes or maybe an extra route or fix some of the routes because they're going to be increasing coal train traffic through here as well.
Yep.
So what do you think?
I do not think that Montana Rail Link should charge the city because yes, trains, towns like surrounded trains. Like
it's old tradition that the city would take the bill for.
I understand that, and I accept that, but I also think that Montana Rail Link has so much money on its own that it can afford to do that. And if Burlington Northern Santa Fe is renting rails from them to go on, why don't they maybe pitch some money and help out with that too? Like, I don't think that it's fair for them to charge the city of Missoula for the railroad just because it is a tradition, because, I mean, it's 2015, it's not 1890 anymore.
And this is Jason Warner, and he doesn't think that the train company should have the right.
To the people who are adjacent to it, that is an increasingly intolerable situation, and especially so under the National Environmental Policy Act, which explicitly requires that you mitigate the impacts of activities that disturb the environment, such as coal mines and railroads. All that we have asked is that the Surface Transportation Board understand, quantify, and provide mitigation for the impacts of additional rail traffic in Missoula, and they have refused to do that, and that they have put us in the situation of adopting this, in my opinion.
All right, so the next person to talk is, where was I? Okay, so this is Jordan Hess. He talks about a little more about the cost involved with what would it be if this new Tongue River route were to be created, and which is why they're making this new proposal and stuff like this. But this is how much it's going to cost.
Associated with delays at the Madison Street and other at-grade rail crossings could become intolerable to the point, if we're looking at, I think the estimate is a minimum of additional 7.4 trains per day, which, at 5 minutes per or whatever it ends up being is a fairly significant amount of time and a fairly significant amount of lost productivity and lost time at those crossings. And so if those delays got to the point of being intolerable, and I suspect they would, then we would be looking at having our community be responsible for a grade-separated crossing or something to mitigate that. So this the harm caused by these trains coming in, or these additional trains clogging up at-grade crossings, would be the costs of mitigating those concerns would be borne by the community. Same would go for quiet zone type crossings if the noise became intolerable and residents in, for example, the Lower Rattlesnake didn't want train whistles blowing at certain times of day. The cost of upgrading the Madison Street crossing to be a quiet zone crossing which at last calculation is $400,000, I think. That those costs would be borne by the community. So they're
okay. So basically, what he's saying is that if you want a train to go through and not blow their whistle, it costs $300,000 to $400,000 just so they don't blow their whistle.
I think that's kind of silly.
But it is silly, but at the same time, I've seen PSAs and old videos from trains that just like cross through crosswalks, and they don't need to blow their whistle a lot of times. And a lot of issues is that there's cars driving through, and they don't know a train's coming, even though it's like huge trains coming, but they've had issues in the past where cars can get hit by trains.
I almost got hit by a train one time. So I was like, I almost got hit by a train one time because I heard the whistle and I thought it was from the train tracks behind me.
Yeah.
But it was on a train track that isn't used very much. And
that's exactly what, there's a long train track that goes across that bike trail.
Yeah.
That goes basically from it's a huge slash right in the middle of Missoula, and it's it's located, the Safeway that's by the old Walmart. Everyone calls it the old Walmart. Everyone's like, oh yeah, I know where that is. But yeah, that's where the train track kind of goes right through. It cuts through there.
Right there. Yep.
That's an alternate route. It's where they split off, and instead of going west, it goes south.
Yeah. Yep. Well, this train track that I almost got hit on was an alternative route too, and it's not one that's ever used. This is the only time I drive over it all the time. But yeah, it was scary. Either way, I'm okay though.
Okay, and here's Ed Childers with the final quote that I have for you guys.
This is sort of an opportunity, if all these things happen, to make an improvement in Missoula using funds which we would hope would come from the activities of the railroad and the coal producers and, of course, the Chinese. They're nice folks, as Trump would say. But I'm sorry. Anyway, there is a sound reason to try to get a hearing on that, so that at least the powers that be can be made aware of some of the issues. There are other issues. There will be more pollution if there are more trains. Not as much pollution as there was when the trains burned coal as they went through Missoula, but still more pollution. And there will also be more jobs if all those trains run. There is a flip side to all this, but I think folks should be made aware of that.
All right, so of course I do have a last closing statement on this topic as well. Of course, the resolution passed unanimously, of course. People at home can still comment on this issue by September 24th. So September 24th is your time to protest or be all like, hey, that's okay by me. And then you can get your public comment, and they'll have a public hearing, hopefully at the next city council meeting. Coal trains are maybe coming, and if you haven't already heard that China is in a recession and may or may not need coal. That's the thing. It's like, do they need any more coal to be put into their city because they're dealing with their own financial issues as well? But if they do, they would need a lot. They use a lot, they'd buy a lot of coal. But also, another factor being played is that China is actually trying to move towards clean energy, trying to use alternative energy, not using coal, and that may also be one of the factors as why they're in a recession. Because if you try any kind of dramatic change with any kind of organization, people are going to lose their jobs. There's going to be a lot of people looking for jobs and a lot of different opportunities as well. New opportunities that people don't know how to use, but something that's been used for so long, and it's worked so well for so long because they've refined it. It just really depends. It's an up in the air issue, and then of course the next topic will be at the Committee of the Whole report. They're going to do a Committee of the Whole report next Monday at 7 p.m. If you want to get involved, you can. They usually leave it open to public comment, so you can show up. It's at by the Thomas Marr Bar. It's off of Pine Street. Mm-hmm. And you can find out more information. You can log on to ci.missoula.mt.us. There's a bunch of organizations that are working towards preventing this from happening. There's the Blue Skies organization. It's like Coal Trains Blue Skies. You can look them up. You can. There's a bunch of pretty much most of the city council members are against this. So you can email Brian von Lossberg. He'd probably be a good contact because he's one of the guys who are spearheading the solar panel clean energy on the city building. So he's the guy to talk to about it.
Awesome.
But if you're interested, you can even call Montana Rail Link about it as well.
Yeah. Yep. Find out. But if you want to find out more information about Wake Up Missoula, you can check us out on Facebook. You can check us out on Twitter. Check us out on wakeupmissoula.wix.com/wakeupmissoula. Like MCAT on Facebook, Twitter, as well as go to MCAT.org. But that is the end of our show. Thanks for tuning in on our very loose, silly show today. We'll see you on Monday.